You're watching Go From Home, the show that takes you there without actually going there. And I'm your host, Eric Young. Today, we're in New York City with Amanda Jane Cooper. She's performed as Glinda in the musical Wicked on 2 national tours and on Broadway, totaling over 1,000 performances. She's also starred in a ton of movies and TV shows. Everybody, please welcome Amanda Jane Cooper.
Thank you for having me, and greetings from New York City.
So if you could, give us just like the quick background on what your journey was to Broadway especially, but we really would love to emphasize on that segment of your life from like high school to college. What does that look like for somebody who eventually ends up on Broadway?
Yeah.
What did high school and college look like for you?
Well, man, high school was cool because it was the first time I ever saw Wicked. Wicked came out in October of 2003, and I grew up just outside of Philadelphia with parents that were extremely generous to bring us to New York City and let us see the original cast of Wicked twice. So that was, I think it was like my freshman or sophomore year, and that was where the seed of, oh my gosh, wait, okay, I'm seeing something that I feel a connection to and that I want to do. This dream was kind of planted. On the professional side of things, I mean, I can give that kind of storyline. Basically, so for those of you who don't know, Stephen Schwartz is the amazing, legendary composer of Wicked, among many other Broadway shows. And he is also an alumni of Carnegie Mellon. He came to our school to do a master class. I just so happened to have had the opportunity to sing for him. Of course, I chose Popular.
Popular, you're gonna be popular. I'll teach you the proper ploys when you talk to boys. Little ways to flirt and flirt. I'll show you what shoes to wear.
And I was super, yeah, right? You gotta go for it. You gotta shoot your shot, you know? And I wore this like bright pink dress. I was so nervous. I kind of like, it came to the piano with my music and was like, hello, I'm Amanda. So I sang the song. Afterwards, he said, thanks, Amanda. I think one day you are going to play Glinda. It was just a very, a moment that was full of gravity for me because his words meant so much and excited me, So he said, send your materials to Telsey, which is the casting agency. So I did. I sent my headshot, my resume, like a nerd, printed it on pink paper and was like, hello, Mr. Stephen Schwartz asked me to send this to you. And I drew like hearts and stars and like glitter. It was crazy.
You got to be in character, may as well.
Character. That's another lesson, just be bold, So I sent my materials. My first audition for the show was April 2010, which was my senior year. So I wasn't yet graduated, but I had my first audition. Like, we love you, or, great job or whatever, work on these couple little vocal things. As God would have it, I stayed in New York and got more auditions for Wicked in October. Went in 4 or 5 times, got a call in January. Hey, Amanda, we'd like you to be the Glinda on the first national tour to leave in March. So it was about 10 months after graduation. I packed my bags, went out on the first national tour, about 8 months. Moved to LA for 4 years after that, and then came back, did the second national tour for 16 months, and then came to Broadway, did the show for 17 months, which just happened to be providentially, is that the word? Providential?
We'll roll with it.
The 15th anniversary. I got my thing, I got the dream, but I was still really struggling on the inside. Everything on the outside was perfect, shiny, princess, whatever. I had all the things, but I was not the person who I always thought I would be. Yeah. I was really lacking in integrity. I was hurting a lot of people. The outside was good, but the inside was really not. And I was also just struggling with this eating disorder and stuff. And also turning to all these other things to kind of satiate me. Yeah. I did my contract, and then I decided, you know what, I'm running away. I'm exhausted. I don't know what I'm moving to LA. I just was so confused why I wasn't suddenly better. Praise God. I met this woman at a Hollywood party, and she just emanated this peace and this joy that I knew that I was lacking. She basically, I want to say she kind of loved me back to life, like a big sister that I never had, this mentor. And it just so happened that she followed the person of Jesus. And I had grown up kind of going to church, but I didn't really like understand the gospel, but something just kind of hit my spirit where I was like, I believe this. Okay, God, you can have my life. I want you to heal me. I want you to make me new. I want you to forgive me. I want you to give me hope. So I got baptized in 2013, and I was healed from my eating stuff. I was healed from my addiction to different substances and relationships. And it was a beautiful time. I am so grateful to live in a place of freedom now. And at the same time, it is a daily choice. And you don't just kind of get to a place in life where you're like, I have it all figured out. There's always growth points. There's always deepening. There's always refining. So, and the fact that we're not alone in it, and that it's so full of purpose. Yeah.
Exactly. Let's take a question from Maddie from Texas. Okay.
Hi, Maddie from Texas.
Hi, my name is Maddie O, and my question is, how have you dealt with backlash and or negative comments?
Well, Maddie, great question. I want to first of all say that I'm sorry if you've experienced this. I guess you're asking it maybe because you've experienced it. You're not alone, number one. I think life is full of challenges, and sometimes one of those challenges are human challenges. There's a parable that says, the power of life and death is in the tongue. And sometimes we're sadly on the receiving end of negative word that kind of kills a little something in our spirit. So take heart that your life is just full of purpose. Take heart that kind of what's amazing and comforting is that there's kind of no other human who can kind of define your worth or value. It's much deeper and much more intrinsic than that. You'll just never regret taking the high road. I always try to think, what would I want to write in this email or say right now in this moment that if a camera was on me 10 years from now, would I still be proud of what I'm saying and doing? That perspective really helps me.
So being on tour must be very tiring, but I just wanted to know, when you go from town to town, do you have to do, multiple safety calls, and, how does that work with flying up in a big bubble?
Yeah, we have a sound check every time we come into a new city. That happens on Wednesdays. And yes, I would go up in the bubble, not necessarily for safety, because that was all done by the crew, our amazing crew, before we even got there. So they would load in the set and they would test everything, including the bubble. So really, it wasn't like I was in there doing a safety thing. It was more for sound. So because the sound is just different when you lift somebody up 40 feet. So your other question was, tour must have been tiring. Yes, but you get into these rhythms where you just learn your body. You get a ton of sleep, or at least I needed that. You steam your voice with Vicks or My Pyramist or whatever you like to use. You watch what you're eating, and you make sure you're stretching so that you're not going to hurt yourself, and vocally, keeping lessons going and stuff. So it's tiring, but it's absolutely doable. People are like, how do you do all this stuff? And I'm like, honestly, discipline, grace, and Jesus.
How do you separate yourself from others who are similar to you, especially in the audition situation?
There's nothing wrong with trying to stand out. Of course, there's a lot of people auditioning, and you want to be memorable, but the most memorable thing you can do is to just bring yourself. If you try to manipulate the room or you do some quirky thing just so they remember you, it's I think people can read that. So if you go into the room and you notice something about somebody's shoes that you love, and it's a real comment that you want to make, sure, yeah, go ahead. But if you're planning, okay, I'm going to go in the room and I'm going to say, hey, those shoes are cool, you can let that go. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Yeah. I think that you doing the work is your work is going to speak for itself. So invest in the work. And invest in the work and be yourself when you go into the room. Connect, make eye contact, be respectful, and know that it's not all in your hands, which is actually a pretty beautiful thing.
Now, many people that are familiar with Wicked may know and love the song One Short Day. So if you are ready, we are going to go into our One Short Day segment for what you would consider a perfect day in New York City with somebody that has never been there before. Are you prepared to take us on this journey?
I am so excited to take you on the journey. One thing though, before we start, I need to give you through this screen, I need to give you your green glasses.
Aha.
Because
All
as
right.
you know, if you've seen Wicked, we wear in the Emerald City, we wear the green. So here you
Put
go.
them on,
Putting
everybody.
them on you.
No shame. No shame. You got to wear them. Even you cool cats, put them on.
Put them on. Okay. If it's your first visit ever to New York City, first of all, I'm just going to choose the weather because we're playing this game and I can, okay?
100%.
So I'm going to invite you to a perfect spring day. Let's call it May. Let's say that the weather is a nice 75 degrees. You're not sweating, but you don't really need a jacket,
There's that beautiful cross breeze through the buildings.
It's a beautiful breeze.
I'm there with you.
The trash is not smelling because it's not 90 degrees. That's real. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's a beautiful 75 degrees. We're going to wake up after a nice sleep of 9 hours. Okay. I'm going to say that you're going to need energy for this day. So you need to have a good night of sleep before. I'm going to say 9. Okay. I'm going to take you first of all, we're going to walk across Central Park. I'm going to take you from the west side. Across Central Park, we're going to maybe stop at, we're going to see the reservoir, which is so beautiful. Mm-hmm. We're going to walk over to the east side. We're going to go to my favorite bagel place, Tall's Bagels. Okay, amazing. Lexington and 84th Street. You're going to get an everything bagel toasted with schmear. Okay, also some orange juice. Amazing. Yes. I'm going to walk you down to the Met. Okay, on the east side as well. So glorious. We're going to walk around the museum, especially the statue area in the atrium that's all sunlit and beautiful. We're going to take in the art. We're going to take in history, culture. We're going to talk about life. We're going to be, kind of quiet, start our day, but introspective, sharing thoughts with one another. It's going to be great. At this point, we're kind of getting a little hungry. Don't worry. We're going to go up and have tea on what I believe is like the 5th floor of the Met. It's amazing. We're going to eat cucumber sandwiches, egg salad sandwiches. We're going to have some vanilla tea. We're also going to have an assortment of desserts. It is amazing. At this point, we're so stuffed. We better walk it off, okay? So we're going to go back into Central Park. I'm going to walk you around the reservoir, which, by the way, that's where my first date with Andrew was. And we're going to just enjoy the weather. At this point, we are going to go, because honestly, the food in New York is amazing. We're going to make our way to 74th Street, where we're going to get some Levain chocolate chip walnut cookies. Y'all might think that you have experienced a cookie. You have not experienced a Levain. They're literally like scone cookies. They're super heavy. You can really only realistically eat half of one at a time. They're glorious. So we'll have a little nibble of that. Okay. I'm a huge fan of naps. I'm stopping at home and I'm taking a nap. Go to your hotel, take a nap, okay? Because you're going to need it for what's to come next. You're going to shower. You're going to get in a nice outfit. We are going to go down to what's called the High Line, which is in Chelsea. This is where we're going to watch the sun begin to set. Now, because it's spring, we can actually still watch the sunset and make it to a Broadway show. Very cool. Right. We're down on the High Line. We're watching the sunset. It is amazing. We also, at this point, are going to walk through what's called Chelsea Market, a bunch of stores, different foods. Maybe you get a little cheese and cracker. Maybe you get a little Spindrift drink to drink as you're watching the sunset. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our way back up to the Times Square area. I'm going to take you to dinner at 5 Napkin Burger. Okay, maybe I'm basic, but I love this place. There's a huge variety on the menu. Then we're going to make our way over to 51st and Broadway. Guess what's there? The best show ever, Wicked, okay? You have house seats. Okay?
How are you arguing with that?
You're going to be whisked away into the lobby, and the second that you're in the lobby, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in Oz, okay? Then we're going to go up the escalator, take our seats, and listen to the overture begin at 8 p.m. Because obviously we're doing this on a weekend when the show starts at 8. Okay? We're crying our faces off. We're enjoying the spectacle. We're being moved. It's amazing. We get to intermission. We're like, oh my gosh, we need to go buy some merch. Okay. We buy you those Wicked leggings. Okay. And then we go back and we watch Act 2 and we just have the best experience of our lives. Okay, great. We just saw the show. We are amazed. We love it. Guess what? We want to go talk about it. We go to Junior's Cheesecakes, which is right down the street. I get an Oreo cheesecake. You get a strawberry cheesecake. we have tea. Okay, little way to end the night.
Yes.
We love it, and that is a New York day. One short day in New York City.
You know, there's no right or wrong answer answering that question for how would you spend one short day. But I'm here to confirm that beyond a shadow of a doubt, that's the right answer. That
Thank
was
you.
it.
I'm like, it's kind of so funny that like literally all these things are planned around food, but you know, pretty much.
I mean, is it anyone's fault that one of the best things to do in New York City is eat your face off? I mean,
Right. But you can also walk it off so then you can pour.
Yes, exactly. So we wanted to know if you personally have some advice, or perhaps even a mentor of yours has any word of advice specifically for the teachers out there right now that are struggling to overcome the challenge of teaching the arts via the internet.
That just having somebody believe in you is so radically changing for a soul and a spirit. Like, it's so profound to be a student and to be a kid and to say like, oh, I know that Miss, we'll say Smith, you know, like she sees me. And that is so human. And that doesn't have to stop just because we're now through screens. In fact, maybe there are ways that are even more inventive. And I've seen so many amazing stories of teachers doing inventive things. I think this can be a great time of creativity and innovation. Like I said, as just a byproduct, not necessarily of like screen time with my teachers, but just, you know, having had like a life full of instructors who really shaped me, that I guess I would just say don't stop and just keep going. Because also I think kids look at who they look up to like more than we know, you know. It's like a beautiful opportunity to kind of lead by example in a time where there is a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty. And it's okay for us to all, you know, grapple with very real feelings. But I just think that's so applicable to life too, that even in the darkness, there is always light. The light will overcome. So.
My goodness, Amanda, we again can just not thank you enough for all of your time today. Virtual round of applause from our live studio audience. And I just want to remind everybody again, please check out #The Bay series on Amanda Jane Cooper's Instagram and YouTube channel. Do you want to plug those real quick and just tell people what the handle is where they can find you?
Yeah, sure. You can follow me on Instagram at Amanda Jane Coop. It's like my full name, except without the ER at the end. And then also you can find me on YouTube, Amanda Jane Coop, or if you type in my name, you can like watch all the behind the scenes with Wicked stuff as well. If you just search on YouTube, Twitter, Amanda Jane Coop, and on Facebook. You can follow my actor page there as well. Also, I love doing online coaching, and now more than ever. So if you can find my schedule at calendly.com/Amanda Jane Coop.
Mind blown. And that's
schedule
how you can bring Amanda right there into your own home classroom. But again, we're just so grateful to have you as a guest today. And on behalf of everybody here at the Go From Home team, we want to say thank you to our live studio audience for being in attendance. And thank you all for the questions. And stay strong, people, and have a great day.
Have a wonderful day. Thanks for having me, Eric. Bye, everybody.
Amanda.
Bye.